I'm doing pop culture, entertainment, Depp vs. Heard, things like that, and this site here once in a while pops up in my Gmail. I guess they put me on some list, and a lot of Depp vs. Heard stuff comes in, so when something's interesting, I like to check it out. This one says, does Amber Heard actually think she's a good person and in the right? Which is a question a lot of people have asked. Does she really believe she's doing the right thing, or does she know exactly what's going on? And they, of course, include the picture of Johnny and the finger incident. It begins. She does have that unique, almost uncanny ability to believe in her own lies. It's scary. The trial is about to come to a close. It could mark the end of Johnny Depp's career if he loses, and jury trials are unpredictable as hell. But I don't want Amber Heard to live this down. So, obviously, this was at a time period before the trial was over. So one last time, I want to remind you, especially if she somehow manages to fool the judge enough to weasel out of trouble, this is a woman who cut her husband's finger off. He had to get on his knees and go on a wild goose chase in the kitchen to find it again so they could reattach it. And then she manipulated the media and public in times of Me Too in order to trick people into believing Depp was in fact the abuser. It's the biggest BS ever. So I want everyone who hears the name Amber Heard to not think of Hollywood actress or pretty girl or Aquaman, but to think of Johnny Depp on a stretcher with his finger cut off by that harpy. She represents everything wrong with the modern world. And of course, I think the person got 300 responses or something like that. This person says the chilling thing is that she will not reform. She will hear all of this terrible stuff about her in court, and her mind will process what she wants to hear. In the narcissist's mind, they are always the victim. And I mean, looking at it now, there was no apology. The best we got is she said, I'm not the perfect victim, which has a very flexible, broad meaning, though. I mean, nobody's perfect, so, it's not saying so much, but it's like a little something. But no straightforward confession, apology, anything like it. And Nancy says this is true. It was chilling and brought flashbacks listening to the audio of her, as it so reminded me of my ex-husband. He is now on his fourth wife, and the few pictures I've seen, she does not look remotely happy. Just like so many of the pics with Johnny and Amber, she is lethal. That's a good point. People can compare their pictures from real life to what they see with Johnny and Amber, where Johnny's kind of like got that face like, I don't want to be here. And by the way, this first person here has got over 200 likes. So this article got around a little bit, or post, or whatever it is. And Xavier says, I usually don't like to talk about celebrities' personal lives because I don't personally know them and I don't have any insider knowledge to know what's really going on. So I gotta say this, I don't either. However, you know who made it the public's business by printing an article in the Washington Post. If that didn't happen, if there were no media articles, no documentaries, and there was one before this documentary that came out about the Virginia case, then I've got nothing to cover. Because I don't go snooping around people's private lives with inside information from firsthand sources and things like that. I report on what's being reported. So don't worry, Xavier. You're off the hook. But here are the facts. She cheated on Johnny with two men, James Franco and Elon Musk, while she was still married to Johnny. There's security camera footage of it. Amber Heard cut off Johnny's finger. Amber Heard took an SHIT on Johnny's bed. Amber Heard then slandered Johnny in fear of a lawsuit and media backlash, so she falsely testified and manipulated public opinion and weaponized the idiots from the Me Too movement against him. So even if everything she said about Johnny is true and he did beat her, she is still one crazy, toxic, gold-digging W word that needs to go to prison. And I've said this myself here and there. Even in the Twilight Zone, the opposite world, let's imagine, just for a second, hypothetically, Johnny did do it. She's still wrong about a lot of things she did. If you're on Amber's side, you can't deny that even if, I say even if, in the bizarro world Johnny did this, she's still at fault for a great many things that you're not admitting to. But the people on Johnny's side don't have actual evidence that Johnny did anything to Amber. So we're good for now, and probably forever. Let me know what you think down below. Doing shoutouts, special thanks, things like that. If you're not subscribed here, consider it. And if you don't consider it and don't subscribe, I'll be pretty sad about it. I got my eagle in the camera today. Usually it's like cut off screen. It's American Eagle, so I have like one decent shirt. Done here for now. See you next time.